So this really suggested that it was something to do sort of a whole blood specific artifact. And so in thinking about what are the differences between whole blood and PBMCs, one aspect is just the presence of these granulocyte populations, which get removed by phi calling, but also the fact that whole blood staining is generally done in the presence of endogenous plasma, whereas PBMCs have been washed and banked, and now we're usually doing the staining just in, FACS buffer, FBS, something of that sort. So to investigate the possibility that plasma factors were related to this artifact, decided to do this sort of interesting sort of sample swap experiment where we got blood from an affected donor and an unaffected donor, spun it down and collected the plasma fraction, and then took the remaining blood cells and extensively washed them to remove any endogenous plasma, and then kind of did this matrix swap where we were staining blood from an affected individual in the presence of either autologous plasma or heterologous plasma from an unaffected individual, and vice versa. And in doing that experiment, this is what the data looks like, and it's pretty clear, where you can see the top row here is showing blood cells from the affected individual. The bottom row is showing blood cells from an unaffected individual, and then the different columns here are showing different staining matrices. So you can see if you take those blood cells and you stain them just in the presence of PBS, the artifact is completely gone. The CD19 staining here is now localized just to the B cell compartment, as you would expect. If we now stain them in the presence of plasma from the affected donor, the artifact remanifests and it's transferable. So now the unaffected donor cells are showing this affected problem. And then reciprocally, if we stain the blood in the presence of plasma from the unaffected donor, the affected donor, again, no longer has the problem. So this isn't a cell intrinsic artifact. It's nothing to do with the cells themselves. It really does seem to be stemming from some sort of factor in the plasma of these sort of affected individuals. Pretty unusual.